Yes guys, and welcome back to the channel where we're in the garden today, and I thought, you know what, we're going to do a bit of a garden tour, show you a few things about what we're doing in the garden, seeing as we're now well into April, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to try and incorporate some food growing into our growing space, even though it's, as you can see, a bit of a tropical garden. It's a bit of a mess. I've got a few things to tidy away, but that can be part of the video. But I thought, why not show you our other space that we've got that is also key to our mental health as well as our physical health. Obviously, trying to keep on top of it can be a bit of a nightmare at times, but we love it and that's why we do it. So go and pour a brew, pull up a chair, and let's have a walk around the garden. So if you've been following us for a while, especially on the other social channels, you'll know that our favourite plant has got to be the Dicksonia Antarctica. It is phenomenal. It's an absolute beauty of a plant, and obviously it transforms any garden. It's just the price of them, they're not very cheap, but they're just sort of springing back into life. We've got only one of the new fronds I can see coming through the leaves in there, so it won't be long, but I'll be pumping out quite a bit of content on them. But one thing we did do, was it the year before last, is we've got an old log. We hollowed it out with the chainsaw and obviously the chisel as well. It was a bit of a mess actually, to be fair, getting it out. It made a lot of mess as well. But we didn't line it, I don't think. No, we didn't line it. We just put some soil in, and we've just had this fern going in here for a couple of years now. Now it needs the old fronds cutting back. But when it's, growing all over the sides, it's just something different. Adds a different texture, adds a bit of a different thing to the garden. Do you know what I mean? With the wood and the tree coming out, I quite like it when plants find their own way in nature and grow out of things naturally. You see a lot of that in like some of the glass houses we visit and stuff, with the tropical plants. So I'm trying to create that, little bits of that in our garden, which it's always nice to sort of take the ideas that you see in these big gardens and put them into your own garden on a smaller version. So I think another big job is we've got to cut the tops off this eucalyptus. Now it's only been in maybe four and a bit years, and it was down here, it was tiny, and now it must be 40 foot, maybe 30 foot. Easy 30 foot. It's huge. Obviously, there's two chunks going up, but I'm gonna have to cut the tops off because I don't want it to go much more than that. Obviously, and then it'll get out of hand. I'm all right with that. I can sort it myself, but it just makes the job harder in a few years. So I will do that probably over the next few weeks. Maybe a little mate's going crazy. Right, so if you hear him in the background, you know who it is. So, what we're going to be doing in this video, well, we're going to be obviously having the brew in the garden. My favourite spot to have a brew. We're going to be showing you what we do to feed our banana plants. So if you've got any old bananas, we have got some cracking banana loaf, I will say, that the missus has got in the oven, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Dark chocolate, chip and banana loaf cake, whether it be a bit of custard or cream, sometimes on its own. But we get obviously we have all the skins. There is one there that she's not used. I'd have still eaten that, but hey ho. But anyway, we don't waste not one that year. What I do is I plant them at the base of my banana plants, just what would happen in nature, and I don't really feed them. I just do this every now and again, and I give it a mulch in the spring, and that's it. Obviously a lot of water through the growing season, and we have some absolute stunning bananas. They're still wrapped up just now because it's still quite cold, but that's it. Honestly, if you're not doing this, just try it. Just shove your banana peelings in at the bottom of the banana plant and just leave them. They rot down in the soil pretty quick anyway. We've been to the shop this morning. When you're having a bit of a crappy few days, Oscar's not very well, buy yourself a couple of plants, only cheap, £3.50. A little jasmine, is it bee sanium? It looks quite simple, looks lovely, nice little pink flowers on it. And I'm thinking, it'll look lovely in the corner, growing up the fence. Dogs are going mad. So it'll look lovely in the corner, growing up the fence. And we've also got Clematis Rouge Cardinal. Shout out to James Allen if he's watching. Because That's his little nickname for me, the old Cardinal. So yeah, so we've had to buy that basically, but it'll fit in nicely with the theme in the front garden. It's sort of more purple and pink, but can't even tell think straight with these bloody two. Look at him. Hey, what are you doing? Crazy dogs. So yeah, we're going to get them in the back border, and then the other job we're going to get done. We've got some steel, I don't even know what it is actually. But we've got some wire, go on, and it's going to go up the wall. We've got in fact it's got plugs and clips, but we've got tons of that. And it's got them little tension, I don't know the actual name of them, but they're like little tensioning things. We've probably, in fact, I'm going to get online and order some more of them because I'm going to need quite a few. And then are going to go on the garage wall. Let's go for a little wander. So we haven't got a big garden, but it's about packing in as much as you can into a short space and zoning the rooms off. So if you can see that side, you can't really see through there. That's where I do my workouts, or like a morning coffee. We're north facing, so that we don't get much sun there, but you do get a bit later on. You get a bit of dappled sun through all the plants and stuff. Needs a good jet wash over there, but it creates another room. We've also got the lawn area. I mean, I'm going to just take you over to this pear tree. Look how stunning that is. Absolutely gorgeous. I know people bang on about flowers, but is there a nicer thing than a full tree in bloom? And then the added bonus is all them turn to fruit. So, do you know what I mean? You can't really go wrong with that, can you? It's not like you're just getting flowers and you're having to deadhead them. Okay, they don't stay as long as other things, but once they flower, they set fruit, and that's it. Then you've got some absolute banging. Well, these are pears, so I'm with 5 varieties as well. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Obviously, there's Conference, Dudicomis, I think there's another 3, but you can't go wrong. We've got a little apple. He doesn't look much, this, and I bought this online. I can't remember where it's from now. I'll have to have a look. But it's actually got some fruit on this year. It's been in a pot for a few years, so it's not done much. And I put it in here last year and just left it. I've grown it towards the wall, and I'm going to put some wires, but I'm going to keep this one low. I'll grow it along the wall, I think, and it'll sort of bridge the gap. I can't wait there. I've got compost in my bloody brew. It's going to sort of bridge the gap along the wall at this sort of height, meaning that this one behind the tree fern, this is the Quince. Now I've only just planted this and it's just springing into life, so we're not going to expect anything off this anytime soon. This one's going to be trained a lot higher, and we'll go as far as, if I stand back, I'll start the wires above where this one will be, because obviously all the branches are higher, and I'll go off obviously in almost like a fan shape up the wall. Obviously the basketball net's coming down, and then right across to that side as well. So it'll sort of maximise the fruit growing space on that whole wall. I mean, over time, if I presume I probably won't need another one. But there's always room to put one on in this corner behind there, and then grow that up and over the top as well. So yeah, we're going to maximise the growing space on this. It's not going to be ready for a couple of years, but we've got the community allotment at the front of the estate. We've got the ones in the front garden. We've got an area of land at the other side of my mate's house there, with a lovely plum tree in it, and I'm going to add a few more to it. So we're all right for fresh fruit, as you know, we're sort of getting ourselves ready for the nuclear apocalypse or whatever, just in case, you never know. And it means that we can look after ourselves, be a bit more self-sufficient with the fruit, and that's what it's all about. This is going to become, I think, one of my favourite areas. Once I paint this, we've got a really dark shade of, I think it's almost black. It's going to look absolutely stunning, especially with that. With the tree fern there and the cordline, the phormium's just growing up. I've got hostas in pots, obviously they need weeding, and the same as that head, the decking will be painted and all that junk under there will be out, so it'll look the bee's knees. I'm going to get that done over the next few weeks. But coming through this new sort of bed, we have got a lovely palm here that's going to grow huge. I think it's, I can't remember, is it Princeps? It's got like a bluish leaf, Trachycarpus Princeps or something like that anyway. But it's, yeah, it looks like a really, really good one. But it's only small, so it's going to take a few years to get anywhere sort of any decent size. And it will overshadow the fern, which is a good thing because this is where we get a lot of sun. And we've got the herbs coming back to life in here. Now, I do quite like just planting herbs in the borders and just letting them creep over the sides of the, the sides of the sleepers and stuff. It just almost gives it that jungleness, doesn't it? The ground cover plants that cover the ground. So, and I can absolutely smell that. It's absolutely, it's so strong. It's absolutely gorgeous in its time. We love it. And I tell you what, I do add it to my gravies. Make some right banging gravy. Anyway, moving on. And then before we crack on, I'm going to show you. Now this, look at how stunning that is. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a pear that I bought, I think in lockdown or around that time, from QVC. Yeah, QVC. I can't remember the name and I keep saying this. I need to go back and try and find it out. They're absolutely beautiful. And I tell you what, the pollinators love these. They love them. There's not many out today because it's cold and windy. But they have been, especially we had that sun the other day. And they've got a red fruit. Very sweet. Bit smaller than a normal pear. But they've got the red flesh and the red inside as well. So they're a bit weird and wacky. But they are, I have to say, and I'm not just saying it, the nicest pear that I've ever tried. And that's going some, innit? Because they're bloody, when they're ripe, they're good. So, yeah, we're trying to maximise the fruit growing space in the garden. Obviously, I don't want it to be an allotment. I don't really want it to look like I'm growing loads of food in here. But it's nice when it's hidden and using the space that I can't use for the other plants, because it's a jungle garden at the end of the day, and using it wisely, maximising it. So, let's get cracking, let's get some jobs done and stop waffling, and yeah, we're going to get them wires up on that wall. First things first though, before we do, I always feed the birds. So we've got a hoster in here and I've just been chucking my coffee grounds on top, so it looks a bit of a mess, but they'll be coming through soon. And I just keep going around the garden adding these mealworms. I don't add seed because I don't want anything to grow, but the mealworms, I sit there with my coffee in the morning, the robins, the blackbirds, the blue tits, everything's coming down here looking for these. If I don't put them out, they're almost knocking out windows saying, where the hell are my mealworms? So it's about attracting nature into the garden because we want to work with it and not against it. And we want the birds to come in because they're coming in and they're going up. Some of them even come underneath the hessian and they're inside here looking for all the grubs. So yeah, if you're not getting the birds into your garden, I strongly advise you should do, because they do so much. Let me get out of there. They do so much for your growing space, whether it be the allotment or the garden, or whether you're growing food or not. So yeah, don't forget. Right, so before we crack on with that, we're going to get these banana skins, and there's one banana there, just chucked round one of our Musa stews here. Now, there's no real art to it, it's just about chucking them around the base. I mean, look, you're even getting worms in there. That's how healthy the soil is. It looks, we've got an old towel around this, and there's slugs and all sorts under there. But it's a hive of activity, full of organisms and God knows what else. You can see the banana roots look healthy as well. So that's the beauty of wrapping them up all winter. Otherwise they'll just freeze and die back to the ground, which is a bit annoying when you're trying to get height and girth. So we just chuck them in. Just chuck that full banana in. Ooh, all over my bloody hands. And then give it a little mash up. Doesn't matter, does it? They're not very deep either, but it's fine. It'll stop the fruit flies going in, and that'll have rotted down and gone in a few weeks. Honestly, you'll not even know. You'll come to do another one, and I promise you, they'll have just gone. And that's it. I mean, that's going to be coming off in a few weeks anyway. As you can see, it's a bit tatty, but it's had fleece. It's got an old towel, and then the hessian just in eating it up. And then even in the top, we've got some old oak leaves. Now you have to be careful with this because sometimes you have hibernating bloody wasps in here. Oh, as you can see there's the new leaf coming out. It's a little bit frost damage on top. So we cut that off, and then it can just grow out easy. And as soon as you get a few days of some nice temperature, it'll just start shooting up. And that's it, it's easy. So easy to grow. I used to make the mistake of leaving them in the ground and not protecting them, so that they always back to the ground again. And then you'd always get more sprouting up. You get 3 or 4 of them with the pups. And to be fair, I think there is 2 in here. Might even be 3 actually. So you can guarantee there'll be another one coming up this season. But I want maximum growth out of them. So I think we've had this now 3 years maybe. So this year I'm expecting it to take off above the 7-foot tree fern. Hopefully, that's the idea anyway. Same as this one. I'm 6'2", and it's already a little bit taller than me. So same with that one as well. Putting on packing on some growth. So yeah. The next job while we're in here is planting one of these climbers up this back fence, and I think it'll look absolutely gorgeous. I don't think you can even see me through the bamboo there, but we're going to get this jasmine in this little corner of the garden. It's protected then because we've got some evergreen leaves here which should shelter it in a hard frost in the winter, because that's what we don't want, is it dying and becoming a deciduous shrub, because it could keep its leaves if it's well looked after and well sheltered. So while I'm in here struggling away, just like that, tickle the soil back over, and just don't forget when you're planting up something and you want it to grow up, it's about putting it at a slight angle so that it'll find its way a lot easier, like that. I'll flick you around there, like that. So it's at a slight angle, it's got its own little supports there, and it'll find its way up and start going up this panelling. What are you doing in here, eh? It'll start growing up there, and yeah, it'll do its thing. This will shade the roots, so it shouldn't get too hot and dry out while it's young. And I'll feed it, even though I shouldn't. It should be alright because the soil's already been fed. I can just perch it down the back of this banana inside this lovely japonica. I'm going to get this one down here, and it can grow up this trellis. Now the trellis is going to need replacing. It's past its best. I'm going to get a decent one that is more befitting to the garden. But I think this cardinal clematis will look absolutely amazing, mixed in with the apple and quince up this wall. It's not a very vigorous one, not like some of the ones we've got, but it will look absolutely beautiful. So we'll get that in. The roots on this one want to be sheltered as well. The roots on this want to be sheltered, but the plant wants to be in the sun, so it'll get a lot of the evening sun. Get out, I've got the dogs in here and all sorts, causing trouble. So I'm going to pull that behind the support there, just for now, until I get some more. And then that one, the same, because it's just about helping them out while they're young. And that's it, it's dead easy. So, I'll come out the border and I'll show you how it's looking. Oi, you were just inspecting my work down there. So it's up there, and we've just wrangled the top bits round just to protect it in case anything, the wind gets up or whatever. So over the next few weeks I will be replacing that, and giving this a little bit of a tidy up, plant some colour in here. We have mulched it all. It just looks like it's all compacted down a bit, but it's the worms are under there doing the thing, and that's what it's all about, feeding the soil, not the plant. Once we get the soil right, that's a good foundation to any healthy garden. And yeah, that'll look amazing going up there. And then we're going to get this quince thing on. So, I'm going to love you and leave you. This is part one of my garden tour. I'm going to do it in two parts. So, part two is going to be getting that up on the wall. We want the wires up, that down, and I'm going to show you just how we do it. That'll be the main focus of the next video. And the other part, I'm going to give you a little spin around the front garden, which I will do that tomorrow. And I'll show you what we're growing in the front garden. Not so much on the way of food, but just out of, it's a different style of garden, and it's got completely different weather. Even though it's at the front of the house, it's south facing, it's very exposed, and we have a different style of planting there. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, you want to follow a bit more in our little garden, especially with our gorgeous tree ferns. I think we've got 13 now dotted around just a little garden like this, which it seems a lot, but they definitely add the drama to it. You know, drop us a like, drop us a follow, and let's get growing. Let's get more people growing. Doesn't matter whether you even like gardening. Everybody likes the outdoors. Everybody likes a summer where you can sit out with a nice drink, whatever it may be, or even a barbecue, with lovely plants around you, with the birds singing. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about getting outside and improving your mental and physical health. So, yeah, stay tuned for part two when we're getting that on the wall, and I'll take you for a spin around the front. Ciao for now.